questions. They're really good. Danielle, you're welcome to come up and join us. They're good. I promise you, they're good questions.
No, he's waiting for our cue. What? You better start us in.
Can you sign us in?
Yes, we're signed in.
Gene, we're ready, I think.
Oh, you ready?
Ready.
You're on Facebook, so you know what he said.
Okay.
Can you text me info tonight?
Are the mics on?
Hello. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. The mic's not on though. Do we need it?
You're on.
No, I can't hear it on my headphones. Am I? No, I don't hear it.
I hear you.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Maybe it's unplugged.
Did you unplug it? You probably unplugged it again.
What?
Chase your wire.
Huh?
Chase your wire, David.
Huh?
People pull things out.
That's what she's.
It's stuck in there, see?
You guys can hear me?
How about now, Dave?
All right. Yeah.
Is that
Perfect. Yeah, that's perfect.
All right, we're ready to start. You okay?
Hold on.
Hold on. Hurry up, hold on.
Good. All right. We're ready.
Days of 15, yeah.
And then we have political correctness, which is the joy that is the other side of health and safety, which is a small oppression of our physical movement, so we can't do anything without permission from the state. And political correctness is the oppression of our intellectual movement, so no one says anything anymore in case somebody else gets offended. What happens if you say that and someone gets offended? Well, they can be offended. What's wrong with being offended? When did sticks and stones may break my bones stop being relevant? Isn't that what you teach children, for God's sake? That's what you teach toddlers. He called me an idiot. Don't worry about him. He's a dick. Now you have adults going, I was offended, and I have rights. Well, so what? Be offended. Nothing happens. You're an adult. Grow up. Deal with it. I was offended. I don't care. Nothing happens when you're offended. There's nothing. I went to the comedy show, and the comedian said something about the Lord, and I was offended. And when I woke up in the morning, I had leprosy. Nothing happens. I want to live in democracy, but I never want to be offended again. Well, you're an idiot. How do you make a law about offending people? How do you make it an offence to offend people? Being offended is subjective. That has everything to do with you as an individual, or a collective, or a group, or a society, or a community, your moral conditioning, your religious beliefs. What offends me may not offend you, and you want to make laws about this? I'm offended when I see boy bands, for God's sake. It's a valid offence. I'm offended. They're corporate shills posing as musicians to further a modelling career, and frankly, I'm disgusted. Right? Well, what am I going to do? Call the cops? Hello, it's me again. They're on the telly this time. 5 of them, that's it. Yeah, white suits dancing like girls, that's them. 5 minutes, I'll be out the front traumatised. Bye.
All right, here we are, Wisecracking Show. It is May 15th. Got a little bit of a late start. We were doing the John Brecco.
That was fun, right?
Yeah, it was a good ride.
Yeah.
I know Jerry was Jerry Petito from the Jerry Petito Show,
Is here.
who have made all this possible and is the glue of Hamilton Radio,
Yes.
and is not only beautiful but sexy. And
Yes, she is,
she-
absolutely.
But
Yes.
she's limping. You okay, Jerry?
Yes.
All right.
And Jean, thank you to Jean.
Thank you, Gene.
And also thank you to the River Monsters,
River Monsters
for
out
our
of Tom's
theme
River.
song.
Thank you for you guys are great.
You still don't have a tour date.
They don't, not yet.
Yes.
I've been talking to Bill about it, so we'll see what
Yeah.
happens with them. So yeah, so
Right.
once we find out, then we'll definitely promote them out.
Yes.
And of course, they're part of 2BTV also.
Right, the production company.
Production company.
Right.
So
So if there are any bands looking to get a production company, 2BTB is the place to go.
right, they're at 2BTV.com.
That's right,
Correct.
with the number 2.
All right. So
Yes. So David, did you know that today is 481 days of the Trump administration?
I just want to cry.
I
I
know.
can't believe that we're still
I
here.
remember
in
when we
this
first
mess.
started doing this, I said I would do a couple days of news. We could only do one day.
We-
And in fact, when I finished the news, more stuff happened, and I had to do everything over again. You know?
I know.
So it was pretty terrible. That one's very low.
Yeah, that one's low. I don't know why that's low.
Yeah,
okay.
that's very
Yeah,
low.
no, I can't believe we're. Tom, you okay?
Okay.
Tom, how do you say your last name? Mangelli?
Yeah.
Tom Mangelli's in the room. He's going to be on later.
Yes.
John Brecco's
Along with
here.
Jerry and John. Yes. And Danny, if you want to.
If you want to join again, it'll be
Mhm.
legitimate questions. We're going to do a fun round, fun thing later with
Yeah.
asking fun questions and see how people can react on their feet.
Okay.
All right. So.
All right. So let's do a little bit of news.
let's
Okay.
go. All right.
All right. So North Korea
Mm.
has canceled talks with South Korea scheduled for Wednesday. That's tomorrow. And threatened to cancel next month's summit between President Trump and Kim Jong-un over joint U.S.-South Korean military drills. So what happened was, before you play that, what happened was the U.S. and the South Korean armies have been demonstrating in the demilitarized zone.
Demonstrating or doing military drills?
Yes. I mean, doing drills
Like
and
drilling.
everything.
Yeah.
And they're not supposed to be doing that. So North Korea has gotten spooked over it.
Okay, so they canceled all.
Yes. So
All right.
just hit cart one there.
South Korea's news agency saying North Korea has canceled its talks with South Korea planned for tomorrow due to joint military drills with the United States, and the North is threatening to cancel its summit with President Trump next month. Retired four-star General Jack Keane, chairman of the Institute for the Study of War and a Fox News senior strategic analyst, joins me
See,
now.
I got this from
That
Fox.
literally happened 48
So
seconds
you know
ago,
it's
sir,
real.
So I'm sorry we didn't have
Right,
a lot of
because
time
all
to
Trump
talk
listens to
about
is.
that. But of course,
All right, you can
Fox
cut
is
that
prepared
off.
to talk about it.
Okay. So why it matters is that's a dramatic change in tone for North Korea, which
Absolutely.
recently released those 3 U.S. prisoners and began dismantling a nuclear test site.
It's so funny because Trump just did that strictly out of to get the photo op for it. But did Obama had 11 released
Yes.
and was just done. It was just
And
done.
he made it seem like these prisoners have been there a long time, but they are actually prisoners since his administration took over.
Okay.
So, yeah, so it wasn't like they were there, not that it matters. They shouldn't be
Right,
prisoners
right,
anyway.
absolutely.
But the thing is like, sometimes people go backpacking.
Mhm.
You see that happen? Where
Right.
they're like, I'm going to go backpacking near North Korea. And then they get captured.
That
Like,
would not
why would
be-
that be a trip? Like,
Tom,
naked and afraid.
would
What was
that be a good choice to go backpacking in North Korea? I'm thinking no.
No.
It's time to get a new travel agent.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
New travel agent. Right.
Right.
Yes. I'm like, Dave and I have been watching Naked and Afraid, and we're like, we would never, I would last 2 seconds.
You ever see the show Naked and Afraid?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Right.
Yeah,
I would
it's-
last 2 seconds. I'd be like, Marty, what did you bring? I brought this mattress.
They had a lake called Piranha Lake. You might not want to drink from there. And he's like,
I know, and then he
drinking
gets
the water.
sick. And then he gets
for
sick
like
from
3
that.
it was just- it's
And
just-
Dave and I yelled at the TV. We said, don't drink the water.
Don't drink it. Don't do
We
it.
know, we're stupid, but we know that.
It's called Piranha Lake. It has the word piranha in it. And
Yes.
he's like swimming, and this water's great. You're going to get sick, dude. So anyway, go ahead.
All right,
Continue.
so I want to talk a little bit about what happened in Israel and Palestine.
Okay.
And so what we know that happened was You don't get peace by killing, what was it, 57 people and injuring 2,700 people.
Right.
That's what happened yesterday.
Well, people say that if the Palestinians didn't keep attacking Israel and going after Israel, here's the thing that people aren't getting. Palestine has no army. They have no air force. They have no navy. They are surrounded in the south by Egypt. They are surrounded by water. They live in an apartheid state, and it is considered to be the largest open-air prison in the world.
It is. And they did attack yesterday with slingshots, Molotov cocktails, and rocks.
And there were snipers on hills.
Right. They sniped them, and they did an air attack.
The UN wants to investigate, and the U.S. government is blocking.
Well, that's what I was going to tell you, that what happened was the UN wanted to investigate what happened. The U.S. blocked that investigation.
Right.
So they're not going to be doing that.
Right.
Right. So that's all wonderful news.
That's Israel.
All right. So I want to talk about what happened. Play that second clip right there.
With China?
Yeah. No, that one, the second one. Right there. Yes.
Okay.
With China.
I beat China all the time. China has our jobs. China has no respect for President Obama. The president of China comes over, and we have a state dinner for him, honoring him. What a wonderful guy. And he's laughing all the way back to China. They think we're run by a bunch of idiots. We have power over China that you wouldn't believe. China's killing us. I love China. People say, oh, you don't like China. No, I love them. We are rebuilding China. By the way, people think I don't like China. I love China. What do the Chinese most want? Anything Trump. Hey, I like the Japanese too. I like everybody that buys apartments from Trump, okay?
Right. So here's the point. Like, he just accepted, what did he accept?
$500 million. Right. So $500 million went to help a golf club, financing for a golf club. Well, we don't know if it's in response to that, but Adam Schiff says Trump's in violation of the Emoluments Clause because he wants to help the Chinese telecommunication company ZTE get back into business. But earlier this year, the U.S. Commerce Department prohibited U.S. companies from selling to ZTE because the firm violated American sanctions. Okay, play that.
See this as a violation of the Emoluments Clause.
I certainly view this as a violation of the Emoluments Clause, yes, and many others as well, both foreign in terms of, the business effort to expand the Trump organization, but also domestically by, and this may not be a constitutional violation, but it's certainly an ethical violation, by the constant...
It is absolutely a constitutional... it's absolutely a constitutional violation.
Yeah.
Accepting money from a foreign government, especially you being president, any type of money, gifts.
Right, because he did not get himself away from his own family's business.
He's still in the business. He's out to make.
And he has no U.S. bank will lend money to him because he's a poor credit risk.
Absolutely.
So now he's accepting money from foreign governments and then offering by tweet to help get this company reopened so that more Chinese can have jobs. I don't understand why people in the Midwest are not going to look at it. Either they're not being told this on Fox News, and they just don't know, or it's a cult.
It's a cult. It's a cult of personality. And because he's not black and because he's not Obama and everything Obama did and has his name onto, Trump wants to take away. Trump wants to change. And
if Obama said it's great to breathe air, Trump would suck all the air out of the country.
It would be like the big vacuum from Spaceballs.
Just like when Michelle Obama said, we should all exercise, grow vegetables, and eat better. The conservatives said, we're going to drink our big gulps and eat our Twinkies because she said that.
Right.
know?
It's just so stupid and backwards.
All right, so I have a couple more things to say. Trump and Sean Hannity often speak by phone several times a day, and the two speak most weeknights after Hannity's show on Fox News is over. Current and former White House officials say the conversations helped Trump decompress at the end of the day since he does not live with his wife. One former White House official called the talks...
Melania's in the hospital right now getting kidney surgery. She's probably like, Doctor, please find something else wrong with me.
Yes, I should have to go back. Because she didn't want to go there in the first place. She wanted to live in New York.
Can you take another organ out? Can you take another... Keep me in longer. I have to go back to the Donald.
No,
I can't imagine.
Right. So one former White House official called the talks with Hannity an effed up feedback loop that puts Trump in a weird headspace. So after he talks to Hannity, it gets all weird.
I just snorted. I can't do it.
And let's touch on the John McCain thing.
Okay.
because Kelly Sadler, who works at the White House, they're saying that it was a joke, but she has not apologized. The White House is not apologizing, and basically they said that his opinion doesn't matter because he's dying anyway.
Well,
And
they're following the lead because Trump can say anything.
well,
to
he said he wasn't a
anybody
war hero because he was captured.
because he was captured.
You know, but yeah, so. But this was very hurtful to his family.
Absolutely.
And, you know, and they don't care. But Sarah Huckabee Sanders, I know she's your favorite girl.
God, I hate that. I love when Michelle Wolf did. The only thing I don't like about Michelle Wolf is her voice.
Yeah, that
It's
was
very
squeaky.
it's very Sarah Silverman-ish.
Yeah.
It's.
But yeah,
But
I know.
what she said was hilarious.
Yes.
So I'll give her that.
Well,
That was-
Sarah Huckabee Sanders says it was selfish for her staff to use the inappropriate comment as a justification for leaking it to the press. So they're making it about leaking. Basically, they can say anything, and the problem is the leakers, you know, coming out.
See the camera right there? Look, Sarah, if you're watching our show, which you're not, because you're coming up with more lies for your boss.
Right.
Nobody cares what you say. Nobody cares. You can just have a cardboard cutout of her saying the same exact shit over and over again and rewriting things and reinterpreting things into her lie and her spins and burning it all the truth and making ash and making her, what's it called? Her smoky eye?
Yeah, her smoky eye,
So
right?
nobody cares. You're a liar. You're a liar for this whole administration. It's a complete sham and a travesty. Anyway, go ahead.
Yes. Corey Lewandowski, remember him? He was the first Trump campaign manager back when it was in campaign mode.
Right.
And remember, he got in trouble because he actually physically harmed someone. Like he beat someone.
Yes. But he came up with these anti-choking laws, and he was choking for other women.
Right.
Right. Okay.
No. He,
Well, that's
at a town hall, he actually choked and beat a protester while he was the
Oh,
campaign.
yeah,
Remember
yeah,
that
yeah,
guy?
yeah.
And then he went on to be a CNN
Yes,
consultant. And they
yes.
were all mad about that.
Right.
Well, something is really going on because he has now started working for Mike Pence's political action campaign. Okay, so Mike Pence has, and his is called Pence's Great American Committee PAC, which is, he says, is aimed at helping Trump re-election effort, but I don't think it is. I think that he and Mother want to take over.
Gene, you know he calls his wife Mother.
Yes, he calls his wife Mother. I think this is something where he knows something's going to happen, and he's putting his ducks in a row to get money so that he can make it there, you know?
I think
So-
if Trump's out, that the whole administration do a clean house all the way down.
Right.
Trump, Pence, the Republicans, like that, just straight out of the White House,
Mhm.
straight out of Congress, straight out of the White House.
And here's our last story, which I think is very interesting. Did you hear about Betsy DeVos and what happened with her?
You know what happened to her today?
Okay, what
can't.
happened with her? Okay, do you remember the college? I don't even want to call it a college, but DeVry.
Yes, yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
DeVry is a for-profit college.
Right.
I don't even want to call them a college because they're really not even that. But DeVry was investigated by the Department of Education
I
and
did hear
found
that,
to found to be fictitious in what they've sold. So they got in trouble. They changed their name. They changed it to a Latin name, which is escaping me right now. But Betsy DeVos, the committee that they use to investigate schools like this, the for-profit schools, Betsy DeVos appointed the former dean of DeVry University to head up that committee. It's another, wolf in the chicken coop.
Yeah.
Because, we got all these people who wanted to do away with things. Like,
Right. Trump's one and only is what he's doing is destroying the federal government.
Yes.
That's all he wants to do is destroy the federal government.
Right.
And anything that has Obama's name on it, he wants to destroy. That's
right.
his goal.
Yes, indeed.
Because he's filling key positions with people who really suck at it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I'm not even going to get into Mueller news because we're going to do that next week.
Okay.
We're going to close out right there.
All right.
Okay.
Gene, real quick, before you play the River Monsters, we're going to be playing Best by the River Monsters.
Yes.
We're going to have Tom come up and John and Jerry and Danielle. She wants to come up. We're going to do a little comedy hour, comedy
Yes.
half hour. I'm going to have random questions.
Uh-huh.
Who we took away my mic right now?
Because we're supposed to,
Oh,
do
go to
when we
River
come back.
Monsters. Yeah, I got
Going to River
it. So we'll
Monsters?
come back and we'll do the comedy thing. You can move close. Yeah, you can sit right there.
He lies awake at 2 a.m. She lies asleep, yeah. He's wondering where he went wrong. The promises and all the dreams he laid before her, like a memory they're too far gone, yeah. No fancy car and there's no Hollywood mansion, and he will never own a big old yacht, a big old yacht. He works his ass off to the bone. Most of the time he's never home. One promise that will never break. He's given the best he's got. She puts her hair up wearing jeans, wears no makeup. Nothing like her friends with fancy clothes, no. They wonder why she hangs around and say he's a loser. But her love for him still always grows. It always grows. No fancy car and there's no Hollywood mansion. No, he will never own a big old yacht, a big old yacht. He works his ass off to the bone. Most of the time he's never home. One promise that she knows won't break. He's given the best he's got. Make no mistake. He's given the best he's got. It's all that it takes. He's given the best he's got. Their love will not break. He's given the best he's got. Forget the car in Hollywood. Forget the mansion. Money cannot buy the love they've got. The love they've got. She never feels like she's alone. The man she loves is coming home. One promise that will never break. He's given the best he's got. He's given the best he's got. He's given the best he's got. They're getting the best they got. One promise that will never break. He's given the best he's got. It's all that it takes. He's given the best he's got. Their love will not break. He's given the best he's got. Now make no mistake. He's given the best he's got. Their love will not break.
Look at John.
Leave me alone.
All right, we're back. As you see, the table got bigger.
Let's first thank our sponsor.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, River Monsters for that great song, Best.
Best. I love that song.
Me too.
Dominic sounds
It's
really
really
great.
good.
I went to high school with Dominic. the
I know,
lead singer.
he's very
Yeah.
talented.
Very
I want to
good.
have him back on.
You know, you guys should. You should have switched. We would have had bookends, but we're okay. We're okay.
Well, we have all the black on that side, all the blue on this side.
Well, they got to be black. Oh, you guys are color coordinated. Look at that. Look at that. Okay.
Oh my god.
Matching underwear too.
I don't know if I have the same kind of panties Jerry
So we're
does,
gonna
but-
start.
Let's all talk at the one. at
We're,
once.
we're gonna start with on my left, all the way to my left is Danielle.
Hi.
Say what you are, what you do, what your show, like what your show is
My
about.
show is Tuesday nights from 7 to 8. My guest is always different. So
Okay.
coming up, I'm going to be having Brian Wool. He's from BuzzFeed.
Yay.
Okay, he'll
I
be
like
on.
BuzzFeed.
You
That
like
is such a
BuzzFeed?
great.
Yes, he's awesome.
I watch it on the Roku TV too.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
he's
really
the one that
awesome.
has the glasses and the curly hair. Yeah. So you exactly know who I'm talking
I
about.
actually do.
Now we
yeah.
do. Now we
See?
know what you're
Now I
talking
don't feel so
about.
old. You know? Because I love BuzzFeed. They have great shows.
And
They
next, the actual size is what's your name, sir?
My name is Tom, and I'm an alcoholic.
Hello, Tom.
Okay.
And that is his
Hello,
actual
Tom.
size.
We have stale donuts and cold coffee in the waiting room.
Hi, Tom.
Actually, I'm on a show with Doug Max called Funny Talk with Mongeli and Max, second and fourth Tuesday of every month.
Okay. And what's your premise of your show?
Well, we talk about old-time comics, the golden age of comedy, Abbott and Costello, the Marx Brothers, Three Stooges.
That's one way to cut my mic, I guess.
Et cetera, et cetera.
Cool. Awesome. And then we got, are you guys done playing with each other?
Yes.
Don't say it like that.
I needed a quickie
David.
moment. I'm sorry.
Yes.
All right. We got,
David!
We got, Jerry, when Jerry's done choking.
Look, I was almost choking him. Look, my arm was on this.
How are you doing?
She's putting her wire on me. I don't
What kind of
appreciate
show
this.
is this right now?
Jerry, stop tightening my wire.
She needs to sleep. She needs a pillow and a blanket right now.
All right, so Jerry from the Jerry Petito
Is that
Show.
how you keep yourself awake, Jerry? Is that how we do things now?
Jerry.
I'm Jerry Petito from the Jerry Petito Show.
And what's your book called?
Tuesday nights, 5 p.m.
And
My book is called I'm Not an Addict, I'm Just an Ass.
Wow. Anyway, and
great.
lastly, we have John Brecco.
And I am host of the Round Table. My show was a half an hour ago.
And what was your show about?
Well, what time?
We don't know what tonight's show was about, do we?
No, my show is Tuesday 8:30 to 9:30, and I have different guests on every week, like Danny.
That's annoying.
fucking
Sorry about
curse.
that. Sorry.
Had this been an actual emergency,
This is bleep. Sorry about that.
Jerry's
My
too
life
tired
is
to
one
say
big
anything.
bleep.
All right,
Yes.
so I'm going to start off with the two. You guys are up-and-coming comedians. And I have two questions, and I have some random questions for everyone. Okay. Tom,
yes.
do you write your own routines?
Yes, I do. Sometimes I write other people's also.
Oh, you do? Well, you're also a writer. Okay, that's cool. You write your own stuff?
I write my own stuff. I haven't written anybody else's stuff yet.
Okay, because your stuff is quite okay.
I was gonna say nobody gives a shit what I write yet. So.
Right. Oh, we got a call?
That was
Yeah.
fast.
Okay.
Hey, hello. Oh, Doug.
Ew.
No.
Doug made it.
Hello.
Doug Max is on the air.
Yeah, you're starting the contest without me?
Well, all right. So Doug wants to join. We have, I like to call him my mini Jew. And I can say that being formally Jewish.
He's your mini-me.
Mini-me. I love Doug. Doug's great. Doug's a great guy.
He's you without a beard.
Yes. How are you doing, Doug?
I'm good.
Long time no chat.
Ditto.
I'm calling
Right.
you Hairless Dave from now on.
Hairless Dave. I gotta find a skinny John and I'll call somebody. All right. Anyway,
You
so
should.
so Doug, how long have you been doing
Or
or
Tom.
trying to do stand-up?
As long as Tom has been doing it.
Well, how long is that?
I don't know. Tom, how long have we been doing stand-up?
That's about 6 years.
6 years. Do you guys always travel together? Do you guys like when you travel? You can like stick them in your suitcase. It's like a
I
little,
fill him up with helium.
it's like a little Jewish carry-on.
Doug straps me to the
He
hood
snuggles
of the car.
right under your left bosom.
Ooh. So Doug, you write your own.
That's the bigger one.
Doug, you write your own material.
Exactly.
Yes, believe me, I do.
Okay. Now I got a question. You guys can answer it any way you want. What happens when they don't laugh? John, you know about bombing. What happens? I'm just kidding. What happens when they don't laugh? Like what? Like how do you feel? Like what happens to you when they don't laugh? Do you switch something?
Sometimes.
Do you cry in the
Well,
corner? And suck?
Dave, for me,
Yeah.
when an audience doesn't laugh where I intended them to laugh, I'm confident that if I keep on talking, they'll laugh at a place I did not intend them to laugh. And
Oh, so
everybody-
it'll catch up.
everything
It'll
will
catch
turn
up with
out
them. So you do like a slow motion kind of thing.
He's got like a delayed effect.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
What I think is funny isn't necessarily what I can have a night with 20 people in the audience, and then none of them find something I said funny, and another night exactly the same thing. Everybody will.
Right.
So I take what I can get, and I'm happy getting laughs at the wrong places. My job is to make people laugh.
Right. Do you feel that they're laughing at you or with you sometimes? Do you feel
I
more
don't
with
care.
you, or you don't? As long as you get the laugh, right?
I don't care. My job is to make them laugh. The people that come to comedy pay because
They want to
wanna
laugh.
laugh.
They wanna laugh.
Now here's my thing. Like especially with comedians who are controversial, when you see people get up and walk away. Have you seen that with other comedians?
Sure.
And this is to you too, Doug.
We saw that
where
with David
people-
Cross.
We saw that with David Cross. Like he gets really kind of like, wow, you think I'm bad? Like David Cross is like, you know who David Cross is?
Ow! Ow!
Good thing you did that
Trying
right
to
after
answer
Mike.
a question.
Holy shit, that was the loudest.
You know, your neck
Beverly was a car
swivels.
crash.
Did you know that?
My nose hurts.
Surprised it didn't break.
You suck.
When you feel that coming on, you're supposed to back off the mic.
I don't think I've ever seen somebody get whiplash from a
Did you actually
sneeze.
swallow the mic on that one?
I actually hit my nose.
Did you see my ear?
You're not supposed to
It was
swallow
like-
the mic. You're supposed to swallow what happens after.
Gene, with this.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
He started it.
My
so,
nose.
so my point is, when people go to see a comedian, like someone like David, look him up if you don't know who he is. He's great. We're gonna go see him in June, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, next month.
And he gets pretty brutal, and people are actually getting up and walking out. Has that ever happened to you guys?
I've never had.
I know you keep it PG-13.
Yeah, I've never really had somebody walk out. I've heard like derogatory remarks.
Right. It's the same thing when the Republicans hired what's her name for the last dinner.
Oh, Michelle Wolf.
There's enough stuff out there for especially these more famous comedians that you can do some research.
But they don't do research
No.
because there was this thing with Stephen Colbert where they hired him to do White House
And the
correspondence.
room was silent.
They did not research him.
How do
and
you
he
do
came
that?
in there and he
It
roasted
is-
the entire place.
It's the-
I laughed my butt off.
It's the Washington gap. It's the biggest thing to happen. How do you not prepare and just pick a random person?
I don't
to
know
come out?
why.
Jerry, you've been to a lot of comedy clubs. Have you ever seen someone, like people get up and walk? Like people, the comedian's so offended.
Yes, I
right?
walked out on you, remember?
You didn't walk out on me. Did you walk out? No, you didn't walk out on me. There's only like 6 people in the
You
fucking
wouldn't
room.
have walked out on him. You know you wouldn't have.
No, you wouldn't have. So, all right, I got. All right, how do you deal with hecklers if someone's heckling you? And usually it's some just random drunk asshole. They're not.
I
mean.
just want to mention with this. I taught high school in Patterson.
Oh, so
mhm.
hecklers for you are not an issue.
No.
Right. Okay.
No.
Wait, I have a heckler story that I love. It's my favorite.
Okay.
Don Rickles. If you don't know this or haven't seen this, you have to Google it, guys. Okay? So husband and wife are in the front row, and she did not want to even go. She
Was
hated
she the
him.
Oriental, right? Was she the
I don't remember
Oh,
honestly.
you shouldn't say Oriental.
Yeah, but I don't
Asian.
remember.
Chink?
No, I don't
Asian.
remember.
David.
No, I don't remember. So anyway, can I talk, please? Shush, David.
Yes.
So husband
Cut
and
his
wife.
mic.
Being
And
stressed on my own show.
She was heckling him. So Don Rickles comes over and says to him, "Is this your wife?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm really sorry, you know." And he said, "If that was my wife, I would give her poison to drink." And she stood up and she said, "If you were my husband, I'd drink it." He stopped the show.
Oh.
He brought her up on stage. He said, "Never ever has anyone left me speechless." He says, "You're amazing. Get up here." And he brought her up on stage. It was great.
Don Rickles.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And nobody gets over. And if you watch those old, I remember talking about it before, the old roast shows
Sure.
where they just are brutal on everybody. But you have to, in order to be a comedian, also, Doug, you still there?
Yes.
Okay, you have to be able to laugh at yourself, number one. If you can't laugh at yourself and you can't handle the criticism that you're handing out, then you are in the wrong business. If you can't, look, I got a big head, I'm hairy, I got skinny legs, I got no hair. It's a weird whole thing going on, but
Wait a minute.
Whole body's
You're
messed up.
presuming. I never attack my audience, so you're presuming in that.
I'm not
comment
presuming. No.
that every comment
But you
goes
have to
after
be.
audience.
But no. But if you say something that people don't agree with, you have to be comfortable in yourself to take criticism on your comedy. If you say something, everyone's not going to agree with what your comedy's about. You guys are softballers, right? You guys don't do like controversial stuff. You're kind of softball comedy.
Yeah, I am.
So you're not there to offend. I know Doug, how Doug does his stuff. John, you might be a little
I
different.
try to be
Depends on the
offensive,
crowd.
but I do it without bad words.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. But you're doing softball comedy, but there's some people like myself who I'll call it as I see it, and I'll say things, and maybe I shouldn't sometimes. I should hold back a little bit, and but if you're up there entertaining people, it's hard. It's hard to read your audience. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard to pick and choose. I know you stay away from different topics and whatever, and that's fine. That's cool.
I'm not really a club comic per se. I tend to go toward like the Lions clubs and the
VAs.
the
and stuff.
VAs,
Okay, I got you
Knights
with
of
that.
Columbus.
John, you should do stuff at nursing homes. You won't, with the
they
laughing
would
at
love
you,
me
they're
'cause
all
they won't
deaf,
remember.
they won't remember, and you can tell the same joke 5 minutes later. So it works out
I
perfectly.
can use pretty much the same joke all throughout the routine. I'll get the
It's
same
like
reaction.
First time heard it. So listen, I'm gonna switch gears real quick, and I'm gonna go to. All right, I'm gonna do random questions, and these are for all of you. All right. What is your favorite flavor of Skittle?
I'm diabetic.
All of them.
Grape.
Grape.
Tom, your answer's all of them.
Cherry.
Don't lie.
What?
Don't
Cherry.
eat them.
What's your favorite flavor of Skittle? Doug?
Green.
Apple.
Don't eat them.
I don't know. Green is
All
just
of
lime.
the above.
Green is apple.
What did you
Alright,
do the
good.
night Whitney Houston died?
Slept.
I studied for exams. I was in grad school.
You were in grad school? Okay.
I don't even remember when that was.
When was that?
This
I
is-
was sleeping? I
This
don't know what I was
this is
doing.
for this
Did you
is for
forget Whitney Houston
this-
died? What the hell's wrong with you?
This is
No,
for
I know.
John and Tom. How many donuts are you capable?
Whitney is dead.
Whitney's dead.
Oh, no!
How many donuts are you capable of eating in one sitting?
Ask Dunkin' Donuts that question.
You know,
I've tested this many
He's
times.
diabetic now, so.
Yeah.
Are you
I
def-
am diabetic. So.
You
Yeah,
gotta
you
get
can't have
The
that.
answer's still 3.
Get the insulin-filled donuts. My
Wow.
mom does the same
I can
thing.
eat more donuts than him. That's sad. For me,
Um,
anyway.
I can eat 2.
How violently do you have to fight the urge to scream when you hear the ice cream truck coming by? Do you still go ice cream? Like do you have?
do it right now.
Do you scream for it?
Exactly.
Okay.
When Jerry takes her ears off.
In bed, I make everyone else scream. When I see ice cream, I scream.
Mm-hmm.
I gotcha. Okay. I'm coming
Everybody's
up
screaming at some point.
No, that's true. That's very true.
The reason I'm
All
a
right.
comic today is from the Good Humor Truck.
The good humor. Oh.
Sorry.
Lol.
How many hours after getting paid does it take for you to spend your entire paycheck?
14 seconds.
14 seconds.
Ask the
It's
bar.
like, it's like all gone. Like I work my
Well, you're
last.
talking to a shopaholic here. Like me, 50 seconds maybe? Almost a minute?
What did you-
Not trying to
14
spend all of
seconds,
it, but it's
that's epic.
bad.
Let's
I just see I get paid and then I want to do online orders.
Let's see. Okay. How many friendships have you ruined because you refuse to play a game of Monopoly mercifully? Monopoly
them.
always ends in bad. Like, it always ends bad.
That and
It
Uno.
does.
Have
Yes,
you lost
it
your
does.
relationships? It always ends bad.
Uno, too.
What?
Uno, too.
Uno also.
Uno's the
You've never
worst.
lost a friendship over Monopoly?
No, I'm my family member, but we loved each other the next day.
We came close with Scrabble.
Yeah, Scrabble.
Scrabble will do it,
games,
too.
board games
That's
come between
deceptive,
you,
but
that's
it'll
for
do
sure.
What do you do when a baby just stares at you in public? Like, what do? You make faces back? Do you say something? Do you stick your tongue out? Do you curse at it?
Hey,
Oh,
baby.
baby.
I just go, you
I make
cutie
faces
pie!
I always
Hey,
make faces
baby.
back and make it smile.
You say, thank
Yeah.
goodness it's not mine.
Thank you.
Thank God this is not mine. It's like I have eyes on me all the time.
I make eye contact.
Okay, here's some good ones. What's the weirdest place you have ever unintentionally vomited?
In my mouth.
Well, no, but in
Well,
public,
yes.
a public place.
My best friend's sofa,
Oh, really? What?
McGuire Air Force.
Oh.
I was drunk.
What about you, Doug?
I was in a restaurant in Morristown with an old friend from college,
Oh,
like
God.
30 years later, and something came on, and it got on the table. We left the waitress a nice tip and left.
I actually vomited on the patient one day because we were in the back there doing
That's amazing.
CPR and they're like and I just everything just lost it.
I sort of almost did that. I was
I
doing,
hope you cleaned her afterwards.
No,
Or him.
she was dead.
I was doing EKG
It
and I
didn't
was
matter.
having
She wasn't
more-
complaining. Excuse me.
I was doing EKG and I had morning sickness, so I kept drooling, feeling like I was going to throw up, and I drooled on my patient.
Was that you?
You did. How long does it take you to scroll through Facebook before
Thank
you
God
give
you
up?
didn't ask
Before
me
you
that.
give up on society? How long do you go? Well, that's fucked up. That's holy shit. I just like.
David, you never
I don't
give up.
scroll.
9 posts on my timeline because they pissed me the hell off.
Okay.
I don't scroll.
You don't scroll.
I scroll.
Do you Facebook and use the toilet and use
scroll
the
at night.
bathroom?
Never.
You never potty book.
I look at it and quit.
You got in quit.
Yeah.
What about you, Doug? Are you a Facebook guy?
I have to be, but I get very annoyed very quickly, and I have over 3,000 friends, but I only know or care about maybe 100 of them.
Yep,
So-
and it
we
comes
all-
up on your dash.
We all have that many friends.
That's,
What's that?
That's
that's
Doug's
a
friend.
cell phone for
That's
this.
something.
Oh,
For
okay.
Facebook.
What is your favorite thing to order from the Olive Garden?
Seconds.
That's your answer for everything, though.
Fettuccine Alfredo.
No self-respecting guinea goes there.
Thank you. That was a trick question.
That's very
question.
true.
It was. It really was.
But your answer's always seconds. You can get away with that. You stole it from me.
Mother?
What is this, dude?
That's to all you non-self-respecting guineas.
Have you ever started petting a really fluffy dog and gotten very overwhelmed by how fluffy the dog was?
Always.
I know Doug
No,
has.
I have definitely.
When
It's so fluffy, I'm gonna die.
When I pet Doug.
No.
No.
You gotta do it higher.
What about you?
I can't answer that question.
Oh, wait.
Tom will explain.
Oh, I know why. You have that dog story with the. I know you. I've heard your dog story before. All right, I got two more. I got a couple more questions. How long until our break? I want to play this song we have coming
We
up.
can break anytime you want.
Okay. Would you give a homeless person CPR if they were dying?
Yes.
Yes, but I wouldn't know how to do it.
I know who wouldn't do that, David.
I know who wouldn't do it.
He's not here right
Anthony
now.
Crescenzo does not like.
Oh
does
yeah,
not
that's
like
right.
homeless people.
Oh, that's right.
He would tell them to fuck off and die. He does not.
That's
like,
right.
He does not like homeless people.
That's right.
And then he'd take his shoe.
I wouldn't do it, but for another reason.
Why wouldn't you do it? Well, you never know what you're putting your mouth on, but besides
There
that.
was an interesting NPR show not long ago where they asked people what measures they wanted to be taken for their life, to sustain their life if they were in an accident. And, most people didn't want to go too extreme, but they all wanted a lot of stuff. They asked doctors the same question. Every one of them said, do not resuscitate. And the reason was
I agree.
that they had so much experience with no matter what you do, your life is already, so you live, but you're a vegetable, or whatever it is.
Would you help? Say not do CPR, but would you help a random person? Would you help a random person in distress?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
A random person on the street. Would you go up and help them in distress?
I often do.
Have you ever
got a
found?
photo?
You got a proof?
Do I have proof?
Yeah.
I don't need proof.
I'm just saying. I'm just kidding.
Jerry's getting a little.
There's a show. There's a show like it's called What Would You Do, and it's actually.
I
actors
love
and
that
stuff.
show.
Yeah.
All
That's
scripted
good.
characters and stuff. It's a great show.
Wow, that wasn't too loud, Danielle. We're
That
just
was loud,
gonna
right? Okay.
Take these off right now.
I thought it was just me.
No, that was that.
No, it's been Dave too all night. I think he's hanging out with you too much, Jerry.
No. All right, we're gonna go on break real quick. But I just want to ask one more
What
question.
Would You Do is a good show, though.
I want to ask one more question. How big is your bed, Tom?
It's a California twin.
Okay. How big is your bed, John?
After I squashed it, not very.
It's a random question.
Full.
Full.
Queen.
Well, of course, look who I'm dating. Doug, how big is
your
Doug? How big is
Wait,
Doug? How
what
big
if
is your
her
bed?
What if her bed
I'm
was
a
a twin?
queen also.
He probably sleeps in a shoebox, and we just tuck him underneath the bed. Good night, little Jew.
What if Marty's
His
bed
curtains
was
are
a
down in
twin?
toilet paper.
All right, listen. So we're gonna play my friend's band at a.
Danielle is asking a question.
I asked it 3 times.
Well, I don't know.
What if Marty's
Yell it.
bed is a twin?
What if it's a twin?
Yeah.
We sleep.
What the
we
fuck
sleep
does
like
it
curled
matter?
up and all entangled and
Well,
naked
it's gonna be
anyway,
smaller
so.
than a queen. Much smaller. Than
Wow, I would never have that.
Just give them a little.
Have you met Morty?
Hold on, just give them both a little dollhouse bed and see how hilarious it is when they try to cuddle.
Here. We're gonna go to my friend's band. It's called Figmo. And what's that song called? It's called
Forever Hold Your Peace. It's pretty awesome.
Forever Hold Your Peace.
These
It's
are our
actually-
British friends.
Yeah,
got
British
arrested
friends.
for
It's
that
actually
once.
very good. We're gonna come back, do a little more stuff, and then we're gonna do.
Yeah, then we'll have a little bit more.
Yeah, a little more with the comedians, and then we'll come back
Okay,
and
we'll be
do some
right
more
back.
random questions.
Okay.
Listen to this song. It's awesome. That was a rap.
Happiness at the bottom of every glass. Drinking fast, but I can't outdrink the past. Drop by drop, gonna drown reality. Shot by shot, I'll forget who I used to be. Bottoms up, face down's where I'm gonna be. We used to be so open-minded, but now I feel I'm so divided. So goddamn you, and curse the priest. Speak now or forever. Hold your peace. I hope one day I will refrain, but I lost false power in my brain. Waste time casting blame on all I see. Well, the truth is that you did this to me. Think it's time for me to love myself. I used to be so broken-hearted, but now my life is so uncharted. Enjoy your time, there will be no release. Speak now or forever. Hold your peace.
Yeah, right there. Okay, let's try. Mexican Americans don't like to just get into gang fights. They like flowers and music and white girls named Debbie too. Mexican Americans are named Chata and Chela and Chela.
That part always gets me every single time. Mexican American. So
Stop touching my wire, Jerry.
Yes.
Jerry has that issue. Doug, you still with
What
us?
happened?
Doug.
I'm here.
All right, all
You
right.
stayed on the
Doug.
phone the whole time.
Wow.
That's
The
dedication.
whole,
Dude,
the whole
I like
5
those
minutes?
questions.
What?
This is true.
Those.
These? Which ones?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I got a couple.
I like that number 19.
Number 19.
19.
Have
Why
you ever
19?
watched a movie more than once just because you could not understand it?
Yes.
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 Moana.
Absolutely.
Like what?
Like what?
Vanilla Sky was mine. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
fuck
Well,
is this
the one
movie?
movie I watched
I
several
went to
times
Sixth
was
Sense.
Back to the Future.
Back to the
When
Future?
it first came out.
Were you amazed
I've done
how
that. I did it with that one too, actually.
Were you amazed how they let this Michael J. Fox? What was his character in that?
Marty
Marty
McFly.
McFly.
Hang out with an old man who was his best friend, and no one thought that was peculiar.
There's a really weird thing. You want to see something? I'll tag it later. It's called Back to the Future and how it ties in 9/11.
Oh, really?
There's
Oh,
all
yeah,
kind.
yeah.
It's really. Did you see
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
It's,
sounds cool.
It's really. It's cool. And I'm not one for conspiracy theories, but it's really like when you see it, you're gonna be like, wow.
Yep.
Like it's.
I can
There's
imagine.
all kinds of symbolism to it. It's, I in Twin Pines Mall, when Marty shows up, if you turn the number upside down, it's 9/11. When he goes to the future, there's a bust of JFK. It's all kinds
Crazy.
of weird stuff. And you know that what's that movie, The Tower, when the guy walked across? Who directed that? The Tower.
Jerry Petito.
Gino, why are you calling me during the show? My phone is going off, and your name is.
Anyway,
there.
it's Back to the Future. How it ties into. It's really weird.
Did you know I'm fascinated with anything to do with time travel?
Are you?
Yeah, and I have been ever since next February.
Did you ever see that movie, the H.G. Wells movie that has who was in that? Was it Malcolm McDowell and?
Ah, you piece. Damn it, Gino.
And,
all right.
The girl who's married to Sam from Cheers. Now.
All right, back to the show real quick. Okay.
It was good.
Yes, Moana.
Can you spend an entire day without the phone and internet? If yes, what would you do?
Lunch.
David couldn't.
I couldn't do it.
No.
I could, but that's when you go outside.
Yes, when I'm in Australia.
When you're in Australia?
Sleeping.
Yes.
Well, that's when you'll probably do
Sleeping is good.
Sleeping is easy.
For an all-expense paid trip, which place would you like to visit and
Oh,
why?
Australia. I'm going in September.
Well, what about a place that you've never been before?
Never been.
I've been almost everywhere in the world except for Africa, and the reason is I won't get shots. So when I'm 80 years old, I'm getting shots and I'm going.
Okay,
Yes.
that's a good idea. Yeah. I wouldn't get the shots
You won't
either.
get shots to prevent preventable diseases?
Yeah, I won't. I do everything natural. I'm not going to get the shots, but at 80 I will, because who cares? And I'll go pet the giraffes.
You're very close.
Pet the giraffe.
Oh my
Listen,
god.
She's gonna go for the
how did I
giraffe.
know?
Okay, real quick, I got a few more. Sex or romance? Which is more important for a relationship?
Romance.
Romance. Sex is damn important, but
Marty?
Marty,
it
let's
is. If the sexual drive isn't there, it's
It's definitely romance.
But it's definitely romance.
Marty's a little bit insatiable, and I love that. She's like, David?
No.
I just think sex can be romantic.
Okay, I have one for everyone, and I want honest answers out of everyone. What is your weirdest sexual fantasy, and have you ever followed it, or is it still waiting? Or are you still waiting for it?
Answering that.
I've had a.
No.
I heard an interesting one that now I actually want to do. we screamed and I didn't even say it.
Get back in the trunk.
That was the wrong one.
What is this? Courage the Cowardly Dog? What are we doing here?
I love that show.
What's yours?
I love cat and dog.
What's
Cat
mine?
dog, me too.
All right. Well, somebody said this idea to me, which actually made me very curious to do it. They have a fantasy where they get kidnapped, so I want to find somebody else and actually see if I get off to that.
Oh, they get.
You want someone to kidnap you?
No, not kidnap me. I'm gonna do it. Like
You're
I
gonna
would,
be the
I would want,
kidnapper.
I would be the one wanting to do it. Yeah.
You want to kidnap somebody?
I don't want to kidnap anyone else.
I know what Jerry wants.
Uh-huh.
An Elvis gangbang. Everyone dressed in Elvis.
We almost had that on her birthday.
But there was like midget Elvis and black Elvis and Richie Elvis.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? Everyone, all these fucking Elvis parade walking up in here.
You wish there was a midget Elvis.
That
We
would be-
talked about that.
And then there was a Chinese Elvis.
Elvisito.
Are you sure there's not a midget?
Elvis son.
There's got to be an Elvis.
A midget Elvis. I'll look for one.
We gotta do it.
Why can't we man? Why can't you just dress up as Elvis?
He's gonna come on my show and Jerry's gonna be like, "Why didn't you tell me about this?"
Okay, so we're gonna end on midget Elvis. And if you guys want to, Tom, where's the next place? You're playing tomorrow.
Wait a minute, we're not doing wrap up
Oh,
yet. We're
wait.
doing our Florida man story.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. We got Florida man story. So what we do is, where's my music right now? Hold on.
Okay.
We do a segment on the show called Florida Man. And what we do, and you guys don't win anything, but
So
we
why
read,
am I here?
we read
Because you're part of the station. That's why.
the weirdest shit from Florida, and then you decide who has the best
Florida
story.
has weird people who live there, and they do weird stuff.
Going there in
And
August.
they do. I mean, I
And
don't
this-
understand why this even happens.
This is our song.
For people in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ready?
this works.
Here goes. We're gonna clap. Time up for him. Okay, enough of that. Okay, you go first.
I thought you were going first. You have to look yours up.
I gotta find mine.
All right. Well, here's mine. Okay. This is so weird. You won't even believe it. Okay. This happened in Jupiter, Florida. For 6 years, suspicions persisted about Kenneth Phillips' relationship with his adolescent students at Jupiter Middle School and his seeming infatuation with bare feet.
Oh boy.
Nearly a decade after the
Okay.
first concerns were documented, the 60-year-old former teacher has now been compelled to give up his teaching license. His co-workers began worrying about his behavior as early as 2009, when a school technician told police he walked into the English teacher's classroom unannounced and spotted him with a student in his classroom, the lights dim and Phillips' shoes off. In 2012, a teacher concerned about Phillips' overly friendly relations with students reported him to the police, saying she had seen him with a student's bare feet in his lap. School district police learned that Phillips permitted students to remove their socks in class and store them in his mini refrigerator.
What? He refrigerates socks?
Yeah, Phillips told police this strange practice was his students' idea. See, he blamed it on the students.
He's practicing safe socks.
One that...
So instead of a condom, you use a sock? Is that what we're doing?
One that they initially did to
Come on,
mock his
man.
sandal-wearing tendencies before coming to enjoy the feel of their chilled socks on their feet. The teacher acknowledged that he encouraged the students to hang out in his classroom before school, let them sit in class barefoot, and admitted to at least one instance of rubbing a student's bare feet in class. But no student would utter a bad word about the popular teacher. 2 separate police investigations found no evidence of a crime. He was warned again not to touch students' feet and allowed to keep teaching. This is what happens in Florida.
Wow.
That changed in 2015 when a former student hired a lawyer and changed his story about his interactions with Phillips. His family's lawsuit, filed in February 2015, accused Phillips of having a sexual foot fetish and alleged the school district leaders knew, based on the concerns raised in 2012, that he was grooming and sexually harassing the boys in the school. Cooperating with the families, cooperating with the family's lawyers that the teacher was a teacher who reported Phillips' behavior in 2012. Despite this actual notice, the suit stated they failed to engage any meaningful corrective measures to protect the boys in the school.
Now he drives a tow truck.
Oh, tow truck.
Questioned formally by the
Ba-zing.
police once more, the student, by then enrolled at Jupiter High School, said that Phillips had encouraged him to masturbate in class and would massage the
Whoa,
student's
is that
feet
wrong?
while appearing to rub his own penis. God.
Wow.
And they knew that this guy was doing this. The student's story continued to evolve, though. After saying that Phillips had never touched him sexually, he changed his account a few months later, saying that Phillips had touched his crotch numerous times. Phillips had instructed him to put his feet in his lap, and Phillips would rub his feet with lotion. My God. And somebody else caught him doing this. So asked why he denied any inappropriate sexual contact with the first 2 times police interviewed him, the student, who was not identified, was afraid of being labeled a homosexual. So anyway, in November 2015, the school board agreed to settle the student's lawsuit for $250,000. Phillips, a school district employee since 1986, retired the same month, and the suit was settled. In a settlement agreement with in April, they took away his teaching license, and he promised never to apply for one again. So this went on since he started. They started saying things at the school.
He touched a lot of feet.
He touched a lot of feet, and the school knew about it the whole
I
entire
like
time.
the tow truck joke. That was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, so that's Marty's, and I got mine. Mine is nasty.
You can't untouch all those people's feet.
No.
My goodness, at
A-
the
That's
fleet.
A cockroach crawled into a Florida woman's ear. It took 9 days to get it out.
Ew.
Katie Holly was jolted awake by a cold thing. What she had initially thought was a small piece of ice that somehow slid down her left ear. Disoriented, she rushed to the bathroom, grabbed a cotton swab, and slowly stuck it inside her ear. And then Holly felt something move. It was like a rhythmic movement, she recalled, as whatever the thing was trying to burrow deeper to her ear canal.
Oh my
She
God.
pulled up the cotton swab and saw the.
This is beautiful.
She saw the dark brown pieces that looked like legs. Cockroaches have been a nuisance in a Holly household since she and her husband Jordan first bought their house last year. She wrote in Self magazine this week, they thrive in warm and damp places. She crawled up her
So that's her ear, apparently.
That's her ear, not her vagina.
That's me after the show.
And that includes Florida. Shut up, John. Where the young couple live, and now where cockroaches called palmetto bugs are most common.
Oh, they're so nasty.
Households in warm cities such as New Orleans, Houston, and Atlanta report more problems with cockroaches than much of the country. A few weeks earlier, an exterminator sprayed every room inside the couple's house in Melbourne, Florida, and Holly felt what turned out to be a very temporary sense of relief. That morning of April 14th, around 1:45 a.m., Joe and Holly rushed to the bathroom to help his panicking wife, grabbed the flashlight and looked inside her ear. And there it was, a small part still visible from the outside as it stayed there, lodged in the middle of her ear canal.
Oh.
Jordan and Holly managed to pull out a couple of legs using a pair of tweezers, but the intrepid bug had crawled too deep.
Oh, God.
The young couple drove to the emergency
better
room
and better.
just a few miles away. A man sitting behind a desk near the hospital's entrance saw the look of panic in Katie Holly's face and asked whether she was in pain. So gross. A roach crawled into my ear while I was sleeping, and it was dark, Holly said she told him. She was given a wristband and taken to a room where she lay on her side on a gurney whimpering. A nurse injected the bug with an anesthetic lidocaine to try to kill it. Holly said she felt the roach move, twitching and wriggling further into her ear as it tried to
I
avoid
can hear
death.
Doug now.
2 minutes later, it's... You know what this is like? Remember in Star Trek, the movie Star Trek? When they put the fucking cockroaches?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what this reminds me of. We got like the heebie-jeebies now.
Oh, God.
2 minutes later, it stopped moving. It took the doctor about 20 seconds to pull out the chunks of dead roach, and Holly saw what she thought were the remains of a small insect. She left the hospital nearly 2 hours later with a prescription for antibiotics and ear drops. Relieved was all over. She and her husband vowed to never experience that again, stopping by a Walmart to buy earplugs. It gets worse. About a week passed, but Holly's ear still didn't feel normal. It's still numb, she said, and she felt some discomfort every time she yawned. Her medicine drops also began to leak out, leading her to think that perhaps earwax had built up inside. She went to the physician for her regularly scheduled appointment, asked the doctor whether he could check her ear. Her doctor and a physician assistant flushed her ear 4 times using an oscilloscope.
Yeah.
They peeked inside, and there was another leg. So, Holly's doctor pulled out 6 pieces of the roach's remains, but feared there was still more left.
Roach?
It's a fucking big-ass roach right
I
now.
don't know. It's coming out in
Her physician
pieces.
arranged for her to see
When
it.
she was sleeping, you didn't read?
Yeah, I know, but
Obviously, but how did a roach that big get in somebody's ear? in the first
and
place?
you're not
How big is her
They
ear?
have palmetto
Really?
bugs in Florida.
But how does that get in your ear, though?
You know, when something itches me, and I wake up and I scratch it. Like,
Did you, like,
fuck,
pop
but
your ear cherry?
Maybe
Holy
she was
shit.
a really
big
hard
ear.
sleeper.
Her physician arranged for her to see a doctor who specialized in treating ears, nose, and throat. Later that day, while at home waiting for her appointment, she tried to remember how much of the roach was taken out in the emergency room more than a week earlier. They find the head, antennae. She wrote, "I couldn't recall, but I can only hope that the ENT would only need to remove another tensy leg or 2. I didn't realize
Damn EMTs.
this was this long. Hold on a second. The ENT doctor placed what looked like a microscope next to Holly's face. A few minutes later, she felt something bigger getting extracted out of her ear canal, and then she saw it. Not a teensy leg or 2, not the remains of a baby roach, but the head, torso, limbs, and long antenna of what looked like a fully grown palmetto bug in her ear.
How big is her head?
Right.
I
For
mean,
9 days, much of the
Bobblehead.
dead roach had sat in Holly's ear. I was furious. I was really disappointed with the ER for
think
not
we're gonna
having
sleep
seen
tonight.
that, for letting me believe
Cover
it was
your
out.
ears.
Holly, a 29-year-old sales and marketing manager, told the Washington Post on Saturday, they said it's something that happens often. I was told there's no need to see anyone else or any other specialist. Holly declined to name the hospital she went to. Luckily for her, palmetto bugs generally don't bite. If they do, their bites aren't harmful. Holly said she didn't have permanent damage or infection. Cockroaches have been known to burrow into people's ears. A South African hospital, for example, pulled 2 dozen critters out of people's ears over a period of 2 years. Roaches are searching for food everywhere. Okay, I can't read it. It's long, but she had not 1 but 2 bugs, and it continues on saying they found a nest in her ear. How big is your eardrum?
Ow.
How do you-
Seriously.
I barely can fit a Q-tip in my ear.
Right?
Marty.
You know?
Exactly.
So that's our.
I'm gonna put
so
earplugs in my ears.
Marty
when I
can
go
barely
sleep.
clean her ears.
You know, listen. You know
I
what? You
really
know what's
can
gonna.
barely do that.
You know what's gonna happen? Everyone's gonna go home tonight. Are you gonna buy? You're gonna buy fucking earplugs, and you're gonna be going like.
No, I'm just covering my
No,
ears
I-
while I'm
I
sleeping.
have-
I'm gonna get heebie-jeebies and be hitting my ears at night. That's
It's-
what's gonna happen. I'm
Can
just
you imagine?
wake
They,
up with red ears.
not one, but
I've heard
two
spiders.
roaches.
Like we eat spiders when we're sleeping.
I don't need to hear that stuff. I have arachnophobia.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Dave, I have
you
your
know?
whole next routine.
What?
Make it about the cockroach story and then fresh balls and ass wipes.
Fresh balls and ass
And
wipes.
the
That's my whole
potato
routine.
story.
So that's our show for tonight. I thank you all for
Alright,
joining. I know
Let's
Jerry
talk
was very
about where
tired.
everybody's going to be next.
Yes.
Okay.
You're going to be appearing at what strip club, didn't you?
Oh, David.
All right, never mind. She's like fired. Tom, where are you going to be? You're going to be
Tomorrow, I'm going to be in Bridgewater, New Jersey. 8
All right.
p.m. show. I think it's called the Green Knoll Grill.
Green Knoll Grill.
Yes, my first time there.
Okay.
And it's supposed to be a cool place. The food's supposed to be good. I checked these things out beforehand. And
Do they pay you in food? Because
in this case,
my
yeah.
God.
they better get extra. I'm kidding, Tom.
He's taking it.
I'm on overtime.
Doug, where's the next
Overtime
place?
is food.
Doug, where's the next place you're going to be performing?
Let's see. I'm going to be at Tierney's on this coming Sunday, the 20th, at 7:30 in Montclair, New Jersey.
Okay.
And then Saturday, May 26th, I'm going to be at the Greenwich Village Comedy Club.
Wow, look at you. Okay.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a nice place.
A Jew in
And-
Greenwich Village? You can't be serious.
Go figure.
Go figure. It's like an Italian in Little Italy. Okay, so you're going to be there. Cool. You got all your material set. You ready to go?
I'm all ready.
Cool. Awesome. Jerry, where's the next place you'll be doing?
Tomorrow night with you guys, baby.
Oh, that's right. Tomorrow night.
Yeah,
right.
man.
Tomorrow night. Shout out to Matt. Oh, I know we're going over. I'm sorry, Gene. We're seeing The Deal, the movie
Yep.
The Deal, with
Premiere.
Matt and Rob and Peter.
Yeah.
What's the
and
girl?
Yeah.
What's that
Don.
girl's- Don Mattingly's going to be there. Not the baseball player. This movie is going to be really good. Then we're going to have them
Yes.
back after, and it's an actual movie theater. We're all going to be there. You're going to be there. You're
There's
going to be there.
food, and apparently
Yep, I'm going to be with you
There's-
guys.
Matt
There's
says
food.
the seats are very comfortable.
Yeah, I
so-
was there
He
before.
did.
Okay.
That's how I met them.
Alright.
Is it
guys.
an actual movie theater?
It's a movie theater. It's awesome.
Do they sell?
Okay.
Like,
They sell popcorn and stuff. I became
I'm
friends
excited
with
for
the
them
guys
because
that work
Yeah.
there.
they came when the movie was just done with production,
Yeah.
and again, it all rolls back to Jerry Petito because she
I met
apparently
them
No.
at Backfire. The
met them
red
at Backfire.
carpet.
No, but what I'm saying is you cannot. It's you. It's like the 6 degrees of separation with you.
It's 6
Is
degrees
that
of Jerry
funny?
Petito.
Very
That's
true.
so funny.
You know.
Yes, it is.
That should be your
And,
next book, The 6 Degrees of Jerry Petito.
Yeah, you know
But-
what? Of all the people that you've met, that'd
You
be
should.
interesting. I would
But
buy that
Doug,
book.
Doug, we
It's been
appreciate
really
you calling
great.
in. I hope your dad's doing well, and good
Thank you. He's doing fine.
And good luck with your next. We know he's just old, right?
I do have something I want to share with you guys, though.
What?
The end of July, my guest was on Dr. Oz with his sex robot, his companion
Oh, yeah,
robot.
you told us about that. Yeah, yeah.
And he's going to be my guest here.
Wait.
Yes.
Will he? Will they
He's
bring
he's
the
hoping
robot?
to bring the robot with
and
him.
do they give demonstrations?
Well, you know, we'll
Danielle?
talk about it.
I have nothing to do with this.
You can't get
You know you're
pregnant.
gonna
It's
ask
the
Becky
sex
and Allie, don't
robot.
lie.
Is it a male robot or a female robot?
This one, well, the one if he brings will be the female. I wish he would
Okay.
bring the male.
Now, do we-
That's what I'm talking about. Let's see what that's about.
down there.
Now here's the question. Now,
What's the guy's name?
There's a receptacle that
I
empties,
can't really say yet.
that empties out? Do you have to like interchangeable vaginas?
I don't know yet.
That'd be so
Oh, I have a
actually
whole
cool.
bunch of questions.
There
I
we
want to
go.
know.
I do too.
Thick lips, thin lips, deep, wet. Like, can you do
Oh,
degrees in there? Can you do humidity? Can you?
This Thursday?
No, the end of July. I actually
okay.
had
Right?
to
Never mind.
move someone
Right?
as a favor because I don't have any more
Now,
openings. And
is
he
he
said yes.
going to be talking about the sex robot?
Yes.
Okay.
He was on Dr. Eyes. I'll get you guys all the information
When
very
is
this-
soon.
when is this
the end
happening?
of July.
Now, I have kind of an odd question.
Here
If
we go.
if I pre-approve the questions
I have a
to you,
YouTuber coming in July, so that's funny.
get it coming
That's what
in
she said.
July? The sex
That is what
robot.
she
Get
said.
it coming in
David.
July.
No, I'm dead serious. I have a YouTuber coming in July. The end of July 31st.
All right,
My
so
God.
Does it have to do with sex robots?
it does. But listen, Jerry,
What?
if I get questions pre-approved and censored by the Petito thing,
Would
can
you
I,
be allowed to call in and ask?
No, would I be? I want to be in the studio and I want to see a demonstration. I'm actually volunteering my penis. Is it okay if I stick to the robot?
Shut up!
It's a robot.
Shut up!
It's still cheating, David.
I gotta really think about this, David. I gotta really think about this.
No.
All right, we're gonna off track.
The alarm's going off. It's getting hot with the robot in here.
Right.
That's very interesting. Cool, right? Let's come to that. Yeah.
No, is it? I have so many questions. I
Well,
really.
then wait for the interview and end your show.
We will
All right.
ask the questions on their show. And what about? Did you ask?
Oh, where's the next place you're gonna bomb at?
The next place I'm gonna bomb at.
David.
Right now, it's June 8th at Take 5.
Are you gonna come out?
As of right now.
We should come out for that.
You should actually
Come out
get
to
in
see
touch
me
with
bomb.
Kurt Zimmerman and ask if you can now do stand up there.
What do I see? Here's the problem. Real quick. Here's the problem. I can say whatever. I'm right here.
Well, you didn't do it last time.
I'm sneaking off.
So if you can,
No, you're not.
if you're right
I
here,
think we
Yeah,
had
you
a
are.
conflict.
why can't you come?
I think that's why we didn't go.
What?
I think we had a conflict.
No, you didn't have a
that
conflict.
night.
Listen, he whipped out. I'll tell you why. He says to me that day in the car, I'm on the phone with him. He said, "No, I can't go to Take 5 because I'm being interviewed on Kurt's show on Hamilton Radio." I said, "You fool! It's not Take 5." Oh, I'm not prepared. Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right.
That's why we didn't go. So
Yeah,
you want me to
that's
go
why
to
we
take? All right. So we're.
Our calendar is free.
Please get in
on
touch
the
with Kurt and tell him you want to do something.
All right.
All right, and if not, come anyway and hang out with me.
All right. I want to thank
Okay.
Kurt for showing
I
up to
guess
the
so.
show.
Thank
and
you,
calling
Gene.
in. All right, Gene. Thank you for working the boards, and we're done.
Okay.
Peace.
Thanks, guys. Great.